Bag, I want the bag. Work my way from a garden to a track. Flip it from a track to a plot full of acres. Do it for the farmers and producers and the makers. What we even here for? Occasionally I ask it. I know it's more than struggling, anticipating the casket. Reap what we sow, trying to fill up my basket. Life's a plantation, I self-law and master. Over the plot I've been granted on this planet. Now it's slanted, cause the chosen been supplanted. But if you overstand it, it was spoken. Fractured, but we ain't broken. Even though some would rather play the role of token, we growing. Black through the essence of a presence. We carry the blood of gods, we carry the mind of peasants. Rich black gardens, future look more like Eden. Multiply seeds like the seed banks in Sweden. Rep my planners on plan according to season. B1 code, switching it up is treason. Black power, family what we eat. Either we get fed or we feed. B1AG.
What's growing on? What's growing on? What is growing on? Welcome to B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. I'm John Hennry Harris, and we have Farmer Brown, the MC. Did you miss me? Did you miss us? We definitely missed y'all. Here at B1AG, we focus on Black agriculture as it pertains to agricultural production, education, marketing, health, food, nutrition, and economics, all for the Black family and for the Black community. Welcome Black to the garden. Well, it's been a while, y'all. Life happens. Life happens. You know, we did a full year of B1AG Daily Bread Podcast. And, we did over 250 podcasts. All, not making no excuses, but it was a long year. And towards the end of the year, life happens. Life happens. We had to take a break, but we're back and we're coming back and we're coming black even stronger. And we really need your support and your help to make sure that we make the whole world know what's growing on. Farmer Brown, what say you?
First, I'd just like to say peace to the B1 family. Glad to be back. Like you said, life happens, but what do they say? When life throws you lemons, we make lemonade, and hard lemonade for the older folks. But saying that to say, it's been a lot going on in it's only been a month. It seems like forever, but it's been a lot going on. It's a lot of positive things going on when we're talking about the melanated family, specifically when we're talking about our food security. And so once again, I just look forward to deep diving back into these conversations. They say this is a new year, if you want to call it that. What is this, 2222? You're supposed to affirm things. And so what we're putting out here today is the Grow Hard Garden Challenge, which we'll go into a little bit more today. But the theme of this year, I don't believe in resolutions, but the theme is solutions, solutions, solutions. Our community ain't going to thrive with crack pipes and benign neglect. So I saw the elder John Boyd last week? He was on the show, and farmers still ain't got no debt relief. And so I hope the melanated family that's been rocking with us, some that's already been with us, and whoever stumbles upon this channel, I hope that we can come together and push this B1 algorithm.
Yes, sir. Happy Tuesday. It's February 2nd, 2022, 2222. Happy Tuesday. Yes. And we're coming on this Tuesday, with the great affirmation and the belief that our people can grow harder. We've done it in the past, and we can do it now because of the things that are built into us intrinsically from the past. Now, here at B1AG, we really want this to not just be a podcast where we're, delivering information about what's going on with the food, but we want this to really be a hub of knowledge, information, and like-minded people that want to grow food. I went to the grocery store. I went to the grocery store yesterday. I got 2 pounds of strawberries, a pineapple, a loaf of bread, a half a gallon of orange juice, and a head of lettuce. Do y'all know my grocery bill was $26? We've been talking about it all last year. Inflation, rising food prices. For those that buy food, which is all of us, because we all got to eat, I know you're seeing it. And you're not just seeing it in the grocery store, you're seeing it at the gas pumps.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing it at everything is going up. Everything is going up. So it's really going to
And
be
to
up to
add to
you.
that, so I've had this same experience going to these grocery stores. Not only is it a lot of empty shelves, like you said, you're paying a lot more for what is available. And so my kids, what is this? We're in February. My kids' daycare has been out 3 times now, just in what we call 2022 because of breakouts or breakthrough infections, and everybody there was supposed to have been jabbed, but breakthrough infections 3 times, and it's just a month and a half. So what happens is, and this dynamic not only applies to regular school K through 12, but when you think about these younger ones, they come home, and so when they come home, they're going to need to eat more. We've talked about some of the stories with the schools around the country who are, they're on short supply of food that they would normally serve for lunch. And so once again, it looks like, and we've been beating the drum on this, we got to get black to the garden, y'all. Part of this Grow Hard Garden Challenge, it isn't about, Chicken Little, the sky's falling, but I think this is one of the grandest challenges that we could take coming into this space and time that we're in. I said coming into it, we're in it, family. We're in it. And so, my thing is, what are we prepared to do to thrive within this new climate we find ourselves in?
So what is the Grow Hard Garden Challenge? Let's bring it. We're gonna bring it to you right now, straightforward, no chasing. Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022. This is what it's all about, y'all. Getting black to the garden, making sure that we are the driver's seat in our own destiny, and making sure that we all eat. And all y'all, please go ahead and check out our class at healthyblackfood.com. Healthyblackfood.com. That's where you can sign up and learn how to grow your own food. But we do have this challenge. So, Farmer Brown, let's go ahead and break it down for them.
So a little bit about this challenge, and so you can register for free at eventbrite.com, Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022. The challenge actually starts on March the 19th. That's March the 19th. And it's a 4-month garden challenge where youth participants, we really want to engage the youth, especially elementary age. You're not going to get disqualified if you're in middle school or high school, but we really want to create a formidable challenge for these young folks. We got to plant seeds. We got to plant seeds early. So this is a 4-month garden challenge starting on March the 19th. The participants will design and construct at least 2 of 4 urban garden systems, and they're not limited, but we really want this to be fun and educational. And so they can choose from a box garden, raised bed, vertical garden, straw bale garden, or container garden. You can do in ground as well, but we really want to make sure that the kids are doing the majority of the work. What the participants are responsible for, they have to conduct and submit at least one weekly social media picture. When we talk about pushing this B1 algorithm to replace the algorithm, we want people's timeline lit up with young melanated kids planting gardens here in what we'll call 2022. And so they'll conduct and submit at least one weekly social media picture, post, or live stream update in report of their progress, including but not limited to the design and planning process, the construction process, actually putting it together. For the TikTokers, these are relatively short videos, but we want the algorithm to be filled with melanated fingers having a good time growing, transplanting, watering, their irrigation systems, harvesting, pruning, and artwork. But we want them to report this, and in turn, each week we'll be sharing, different posts on various Black Boss networks and Boyce Watkins networks. We also want them at the end of it to submit a 2 to 5 minute video and explaining in detail, and this is towards the end of the challenge. What fruit, vegetable, herbs, flowers did you grow? Why did you choose that type of garden system you used? What did they learn doing the challenge? Any problems or hurdles they faced during the challenge? We want them to describe a business idea that they could create based around their experience. Uh, these are very basic materials. If we got any program directors out there, people who's already growing this year that just you want to incorporate this where you're at, the basic project materials are obviously seeds, seeding pots and cups, peat moss seed pods, plant seedlings, plastic barrels, terracotta clay pots, potting soil or potting mix, garden hand tools, and landscape fabric. Like I said, we encourage the students and participants to be as creative as possible. But we don't want this to be okay. I just got a cup and I put a seed in it and I won. We really want them to put some thought into it because once again, it isn't just about getting the produce we expect. Because this is a program we've done for 2 years now. It's been very successful in the Central Kentucky area. And so last year we had 75 participants, and we had the top three. We was able to get a grant through the NRCS, and so this is early enough for any program directors on here, anybody looking for possible funding or possible program implementation. You can go to your NRCS. There's pretty much one in every county, and they do outdoor learning. They have outdoor learning grants. If you're somebody that just wants to contribute to a good cause to somebody who's doing urban gardens in your community, get some of these materials. What we did here when the C word hit, we made kits and we were able to deliver them to people's doors. Obviously, with this Grow Heart Garden Challenge 2022, we want to reach as many as possible. In a perfect world, we'd have 200,000 third through fifth grade melanated kids participating in this challenge. Uh, I'm going to affirm that this is going to do great. But once again, this isn't, like I said, it's non-transactional. So whatever you contribute to this cause is not going to anybody but the participants who's involved. When you're thinking about the dynamics, okay, we want to encourage people to start looking at buying seeds, saving seeds. This is, it is a cool activity for kids, but let's look at the practicality, family, going back to what you're talking about with the grocery store. Peace, sis. She knows what's been going on. But so we want the kids to think about the concept of buying seeds and storing them. We want them to think about the difference between seeding and transplanting. We're coming into a world where this concept of education and all of these amenities coming to us quickly, that's changing. And so with this garden challenge, 4 months, we want them to understand the slow process of growth. Like I said, part of the algorithm. You see this young man, so he was one of the top three winners in the last one. He made it to the newspaper here. Some one young lady, she did hers in English and Spanish, and so it gives the kids an opportunity to be creative. And this is a Black business school, right? We got healthyblackfood.com. We want them to become young agripreneurs. It is a spiritual righteous thing to understand how to produce food, how to produce life. It is a practical thing when we find and when we see what we have going on around us right now, that kids, specifically kids, are learning. Good to see you, bro. It's a good thing to have the kids understand, like, this is what production is. Production starts with an idea, a seed. It has to be cultivated. It has to be. You have to water it. You can't just put it somewhere and expect it to grow it and expect it to thrive. You got to weed it. What are the things that are around it that aren't helping? What are the companion plants? And we'll also be doing different series of presentations throughout this 4 months. So each week, along with our healthyblackfood.com, uh, we encourage the participants to log in, and we will go through some of these different processes. Like I said, this is the time, family. This is the time. I hate to use the word excuse. I don't think we've never had more of an excuse than now to really start taking seriously. Now, are we planting the next generation of growers and producers and agripreneurs? I think Kanye, people talking about Black history. We're talking about Black future. And so, once again, many of us have fallen into this consumer mode I have 3-year-old twins, and I don't want them experiencing what you experienced in 2022 in 2034, and they have no options. That would be a tragedy. They would have no options because back in 2022, when the world went crazy, nobody took the time to plant seeds with these kids. And so this is what we mean when we're talking about the B1 algorithm. Absolutely, V. Cooper. Absolutely. And it's not the crack pipes. It's one of those things where the resources are hidden in plain sight, but it's if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a program and codified people who know exactly what you're asking for and exactly what those resources are going to go to, it's going to go somewhere else or not get spent. And so this is, like I said, this is a very practical, hey, Sister Moffitt, this is a very practical, I'll call it program, but I just think this is a group activity. This is a group activity. It's the Grow Hard Garden Challenge. We challenge each other in so many areas. Hey, I can walk more miles than you. I can eat healthier than you. I can hit more jump shots than you. I can, score more points on a video game. You can tell how long it's been since I played a video game, but you know what I mean. So can we challenge our kids? And it is fine for the parents to help, guardians to help. We encourage them to. But at the same time, these kids, when it comes to the video, because not only do we want them to learn how to grow, you got to be able to articulate yourself. See, when I was growing up, it wasn't about nothing. It was the black folks, it was the white folks, and a handful of Mexicans when I was growing up in Central Kentucky. These kids are growing up in an international society. There's no such thing as I'm over here and everybody else is somewhere else now. And so it's important for our kids to be able to articulate themselves, not only be able to produce, but be able to discuss what it is they're producing. And so that's baked into this concept. Like I said, we encourage them to like, share, and hashtag Grow Hard Garden Challenge, Black Business School. But like I said, this is something that can be done locally. When we think about people like Nancy Farm Her down in Austin, when we think about the sisters and brothers, around the country who already have gardening programs. But the concept is just flooding these timelines because the adults get it. The adults that's in it, that's growing, they get it. And so how do we make this a part of culture where it's not something that's abstract or odd? And so that's the purpose behind this Grow Hard Garden Challenge.
And it's important. It's very important. The youth, they are the seeds. Let's make sure that they can grow in this world. Let's make sure that they can reap a worthy harvest. Let's not leave them dead in the garden, y'all. We've got enough. We're losing enough of our youth out here in the streets. Let's have them growing in the garden. And remember, and this is what I always like to press, and I'm going to continue to press it. Growing your own food is a survival skill. Don't let our kids be tricked into thinking that if they don't have any money in their hands or in their pockets, that they can't eat. The Most High gave us everything we need to grow our own food, and it's right outside of our doors. Let's make use of it.
Locally,
like I told you, I literally bought 2 1-pound containers of strawberries, a half a gallon of orange juice, a head of lettuce, some doggone a loaf of bread, and the cheapest salad dressing that they had. And my grocery bill came up to $26, almost $30 off of something that back in the day it may have cost $12, $10, $12. Food prices have gone up 25-30%, y'all. The Dollar Tree. I'm trying to tell y'all, I am one of the biggest. I love the Dollar Tree, right? Dollar Tree done saved my life. They went up to $1.25. It's not even the Dollar Tree for real anymore. They've gone up to $1.25, and guess what? Not only have their prices gone up, the quantity and sizes of their products have gotten smaller. So they're charging you more for less. This is the trend. This is the way the world is going, y'all. We need to teach our kids how to grow this food. We ourselves need to get back acclimated to growing our own food. We may not be able to grow all of the food that we need to feed ourselves, but having that working knowledge and being able to at least grow something, that may keep us from falling victim.
Well, I don't believe in Black History Month, but for the sake of conversation, I've been doing some presentations, and have you ever heard of? Did you know that it was a black man that created the refrigerated trucks,
Yes.
the corn picker? And so the second, I'm about to pull it up. The second patent ever awarded to an African American was to a woman. Did you know that?
Now that I didn't know.
And so Henry Blair, so we're just gonna go over a little history. Henry Blair, and so he was the second what we call African American, to be issued a patent. And I'm saying these words because I want to get back to the point of the Grow Hard Challenge. Despite having no formal education, he was a successful farmer who patented two inventions: a corn planter and a corn setter. Booker T. Watley, this is the elder. Fortunately, I've seen a lot of his pictures on my timelines, but this is who created this, what we know as the CSA. And we know that CSAs, when we're talking about localized food systems, that has to become culture. That has to become normal. And it was a brother, Booker T. Watley, who he called it a clientele membership club, but it was ultimately the CSA. And it was a black man that invented it. I think most of us know about in the ag community, know about George Washington Carver. He was literally a researcher. It was his research that not only fixed the Dust Bowl, he figured out how to revitalize soil using soy and peanuts and all sorts of other products. But unfortunately, Carver was castrated. The man was too smart, and I want the family to think about, what we got going on now. He was so smart, but it's like, man, he's useful. We just don't want you reproducing yourself, but we want your information. What we have today and what we'll call 2022 is we have history on our side. We know what's happened in the past. And so when we're thinking about protecting our communities, it's one thing, hey, we just want to keep the kids from getting shot. But my thing is, no, we got to do more than just keep them from getting shot. We want to prepare them to shoot to the stars. Like I said, Frederick McKinley Jones, and so he's the inventor of probably one of the most important inventions, and that's the refrigerated truck. You think about these shipping containers. It was technology developed by a black man that developed that. Martha Jones, that was the lady I was telling you about. It's an African American woman. She basically she was the first African American woman to get a patent, and this was 1868. In her invention, she basically invented the automation. It was basically a corn husker, but it was automated. And this was a woman. We think about sisters, we think about STEM. And then Mary Jones de Leon, so she got the second patent. And so when you see those steam tables at the restaurants, you go at, they had that brawl at Golden Corral, but when you see those steam tables, it was a sister that patented that. When we say patented, it wasn't, okay, I came up with somebody and somebody took my idea and ran with it. Patent means I own it and their family get residuals. And so when we talk about creating the next generation of agripreneurs, this is what the Grow Hard Garden Challenge is. It's one thing trying to, convince somebody who's already got a good idea of what they want to do and how they see the world. But it's very important to get these kids while they're still impressionable. A lot of these third through fifth graders, and so preschool and kindergarten, they watch the world with masks on. They watch people in fear. And it's not to say that it wasn't, it was definitely a sickness going around. But saying that to say, when we think about trauma and not just trauma bonding, but, what do you do in reaction to it? What do you do to be proactive? And like I said, in any situation, you can't go wrong learning how to produce specifically food. Because maybe, okay, this Grow Hard Garden Challenge in 2022, random young black girl, black boy around the country decides to do it and grew a tomato. But it was something they learned that they realized, now I can apply this because I hear these people talking about fiber. I really don't care about vegetables, but I like clothes. And I've heard these crazy people, which are some of the presentations we'll be doing, talking about fibers that can be derived from plants other than cotton. We're talking about hemp, right? And so they might, because of that seed was planted early, because of what they learned with these basic concepts, watering, they're now able to take that like, no, I'm gonna be the next Booker T. Watley, Frederick McKinley, that comes up with a better way to get this fiber for these clothes I like to wear. But saying that to say it sounds abstract, but every invention that's ever been invented started with somebody that had a context of something that was missing. We like to quote Tupac, find the weakness in the game and sold it. Since 2020, we've seen so many weaknesses in what we call agriculture and what we call food production. And when we think about, they said when these lockdowns hit and after the lockdowns, basically food insecurity went up almost 30% in the Black community. This is when that's what it was when the assistance got cut earlier this year. They said food insecurity went up almost 30% in the Black community. Meaning once government pulled the rug, food insecurity went up. Now you can pick at that, or you can actively do something about it now that's going to have a result decades from now. And that's planting the seed to teach somebody how to do something. And so that's I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse, but that's the science behind this Grow Hard Garden Challenge. It can be cute, yeah, let little sister, little brother do it, but we really want to stoke this concept of plant a seed, take care of it, look at all the different ways you can skin a cat. What is this cat we want to skin? We want to produce something. And you add points if you're in a situation where, okay, I don't have good land. So this is where we need you to innovate. Look at these containers. Can this container hold some soil? It's not going to leach into it or anything. Where are some sunny places around where you're at? Because we know these plants need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Uh, can I be resourceful? Maybe I don't have money to go to a store and get a barrel. Are there old tires that I can clean out? Does somebody have some old Tupperware that I can line with some landscape fabric?
It's time to get creative, y'all. Make sure you look inside of the live chat. Those who are watching us live right now on YouTube and Facebook, I dropped the link to the Eventbrite page for the Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022. Go ahead and sign up. We're targeting the kids. Hey, but we're all big kids anyway. We need as much of our family to participate as possible. We all need this knowledge. We all need to be able to grow our own food. We all need it. Each one teach one, and the more you teach, the more you'll reach. So let's pass this knowledge on. Like, share, and subscribe to B1AG Daily Bread Podcast on YouTube. Hey, y'all. One of the biggest challenges we need to overcome as far as B1AG Daily Bread Podcast, we need to get to 1,000 subscribers, y'all. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, that gives us a lot more leeway to bring you our content in a better, more efficient way. That's just getting past that 1,000 subscriber hurdle. That will help us push this B1 algorithm. We need to push this black algorithm, y'all, and getting over that 1,000 subscriber limit, that hurdle, that will help us out a lot. So let's get, if you're in a gardening group, if you're in a farming group, if you're wherever you're at, share this content, get people to sign up. Let's have the entire family. Let's have the entire family across this planet participating in the Grow Hard Challenge. Because by the way, at the end of the day, we all got to eat, right? We all got to eat. You name me one person, one animal on this planet that doesn't want to eat. We all have to eat. So let's do it. Because I look forward to sitting across the table and seeing all of your wonderful faces smiling as we all enjoy this grand harvest. Yes, sir.
35,000 jobs a year go unfilled in the United States agricultural sector? 35,000. To go unfilled because not enough people are going into this field. Out of 39,000, and this was in 2019, out of 39,000 college graduates with ag degrees, my bachelor's of science in ag, food, and environment. Uh, so out of 39,000 graduates, only a little over 1,100 were classified as black. Let's look at the numbers. Out of 39,000 of anything, if only 1,100, not 11,000, 1,100 graduated with ag degrees. We see a lot going on with the HBCUs right now, fortunately, but unfortunately, a lot of your HBCUs are land grant institutions. You heard Martin Luther King talk about land grant. I think somebody was on here earlier talking about there are resources, but the resources aren't in the consumer end of things. The resources are when you're producing. And here at B1AG, one of our goals is to just have this conversation where the community understands the value of this sector. Now we could only talk to people who already get it, but that's preaching to the choir. I'm not gonna say I believe. I know, like, once the melanated family decides, like, yep, you know what, this is important. We can master this. Same way we mastered playing ball, entertaining, cooking, came up with all these inventions. We can master how food is produced. We don't want lab grown meat. We see that the powers that shouldn't be right now have all these little sick, twisted concepts of what they want to turn food security in. Our ancestors made the first food security to build civilizations.
And we
Right?
don't want any jabby meals.
No jabby meals. And
Because that's
so
next down the pipeline, family. Jabby meals.
So how can we increase these numbers? Are we saying that everybody has to go get a degree? I would highly suggest, if you have access to go to a college, HBCU, and this is once again, I'm being very transparent now. I didn't know nothing about ag until I was about to turn 30. And because of that, I didn't have all the scholarships and funding I could have had to get that ag degree. But there were some people I graduated. Oh yeah, I got my degree and I didn't pay. I don't owe anything. That wasn't my story. And so one of my passions is, hey, if you can get these dual credits, if you can already have a background, in ag, especially in the earlier grades, as you matriculate through middle school and high school, you participate in these programs. FHA, Future Farmers of America. I tend to think melanated people need to come up with some groups of our own as well. That's just me. But participate. We participate in basketball. Let's compete in other things. And so the point I'm making is we do need a layer of people going into the schools, specifically in agricultural programs, science programs, STEM. Okay, there are some that's just straight boots on the ground. Okay, maybe I don't need to go to school. I'm good with my hands. I'm good with the engines. I'm a good engineer. Okay, we're boots on the ground. We're gonna go straight to producing. And then you have your teacher class. We see the concept of teaching in what we call North America. Yep. The concept in North America that we call teaching is changing. They're talking about how all these teachers are retiring and not coming back into the classrooms. And so, as a parent, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to teach your kid. Just stick with your kid, because we're in the internet age. So that goes to my point, sis. So you're boots on the ground. Like, okay, I'll tell you this, you're learning more being out there than what you would in the classroom. The classroom, to me, in my modest opinion, is accreditation. This is it's a weird game, and we need some of us in that space. That's B1. We need people in the academic space. We need boots on the ground. We need people in the streets. We need a suit and tie type of people that don't want to touch nothing dirty, but they understand finances. They understand connections. They understand politics. So saying that to say ag is a team sport. Our goal here, and we want these kids, because see, as adults, we'll start bickering and, oh no, I do it this way, I do it that way. No, Dr. Sebi said, kids don't know nothing about that. If we can present this to these kids, if they can see mom, dad, uncle, granddad, whoever, reminding them at least 3-4 times a week, hey, you work on your garden project. You work on your garden project. If we get some of the people that got a little extra bread in any random community in around the country to say, hey, whoever finishes this garden challenge, I got a bag for you. Here in Central Kentucky, we was able to get 1,000 from the NRCS, and so I was able to divide 1,000 amongst the top 3 that followed directions. This could be done anywhere where you're at. And once again, it's incentivizing because the streets got a great marketing plan for our kids. They have a great marketing plan. And so what can we do as conscientious adults to counter that? Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can beast at it. It's one thing, I'm going to just take this job because we are genetically designed to beast at all of the areas that are encompassed in agriculture. It took marketing, social marketing, for us not to be involved in agriculture like we are today. And so that's my point. That's my contention. We need 250,000 third through fifth graders in 2022 I'm going to try my hand at a garden this year. It might fail, but parent, caregiver, whoever is going to take enough time to ask me questions. Now, what happened? Why did it fail? Oh, it just died. Did you water it? Did it have sunlight? Did you plant it at the right time? So here at B1AG, that's something we can do. This is non-transactional. What you would be doing is logging onto your computer and hearing us, talk about some of these specifics, right? But saying that to say the information is available. But can we challenge ourselves as adults? Can we challenge ourselves and make sure I'm gonna find at least 1 or 2 kids that might go to church with them, might be might be family members, might be some of my kids' friends. But to engage them, maybe they don't submit their work. It'll be good if they do because we want to flood the algorithm. But this is something we can do. This is something we can do. We see what's going on in Canada right now with the trucker strike. Like, you got to know that that's going to spread. And with that trucker, guess what? That's food. Food systems are changing. That goes back to what I was saying about Booker T. Watley. And Booker T. Watley's model, it wasn't large trucks. It was localized. Do we have young people understanding shipping and logistics to create their own private trucking companies, create their own private delivery mechanisms that we haven't even thought about yet? But we have to plant that seed yesterday.
B1AG family, as this shipping supply, as we see this global shipping supply chain crumble, this is the most opportune time that we have to build our own. Build our own. FUBU, for us, by us. Because ain't nobody going to worry about feeding us but us. They could care less of if we have anything to eat. So we need to be concerned for our own welfare, our own stomachs, our own hunger. We need to make sure that we have our own safety valves in place, built by us, for us, to make sure that we have something to eat. It's that serious. And we can't wait until the ish all the way hits the fan to begin. Let's get ahead of the curve, stay ahead of the curve. We've been talking about this. We're here at B1AG. Everything we talked about has come true, y'all. Even things like we've even gone farther than we thought it would go. We hoped certain things wouldn't go as far. But they are. So that means that puts a little bit more pressure. There's no time to waste. Yesterday was the first day of spring, y'all. It's time to get these seeds in the ground. Let's get these shovels in the ground. Let's get to growing. Little by little. Let's just gain this knowledge. Share this knowledge. Start grow clubs with your family and friends. Hey, y'all, let's get together. We're gonna plant something, grow something. And at the end, when it's time to harvest, we all gonna eat. Have a barbecue and eat.
Have farm tour teams. Just weekend getaways. We gonna map out. We're gonna find some black farms. Who have their information out there. We're gonna call them. Hey, how much would you charge us to come out there and barbecue on your farm?
Let us see what you got growing. What do you have growing on?
Agritourism. Take the kids. But it's stimulating it. We have to make this a part of our culture again. Some places in the deeper South is more of a culture, but everything's relative. It's more of a culture, but people know the South more for music than production, than for music production than ag production. And so it's like, let's eat. How do we change this dynamic? One thing I'm gonna say, not to prattle, Rick Ross. Rick Ross just did something that from him buying that cow, there's gonna be at least, I'd say 100. I say at least 100, between 100 and 1,000 melanated people, because Rick Ross bought a cow. That's gonna be like, boss bought a cow. I'm gonna buy a cow. That's the power, that if we can get the buy-in of the people that drive culture, to, hey, y'all, we need to production over consumption. We
I
change the
can't
world
wait, because
overnight.
we're gonna do a story about Rick Ross and him buying that cow, because I have to show y'all the pure joy and happiness that was all in Rick Ross's face when he got that cow. Because for him, for him and his family, and for what he's building, that means a lot to have your own. You know, Rick Ross has 52 cars. He's like, yeah, I got 52 cars. He ain't even have a driver's license. But when he got that cow, there was a level of excitement I hadn't seen it out of Rick Ross in years. Because he knows he's solidifying himself. Hey, the big boss gonna eat. The big boss is gonna eat. Yeah, I got these wing stops. Yeah, I got these checkers. These rallies. But yeah, the big boss got some Angus too. Let's eat, y'all. Let's eat. HealthyBlackFood.com. Sign up. Sign up. Sign up. Sign up. You can also donate to the B1AG platform. Cash App. $ B1AG Hip Hop. Sign up. Hit us up on Gmail. B1AgHipHop@gmail.com. Let us know where you're from. If you have a grow operation. If you just want to share information. If you just want to say hello. If you have any questions, hit us up. Hit us up. Let's grow this conversation. Let's grow. Let's get these pounds up. When I say pounds, I'm talking about pounds of food, pounds of produce. Let's get these pounds up in each neighborhood. Let's get these pounds up. You know what I'm saying? When you see that black fist go up, that's that pound too. Let's get these pounds up. Let's get these pounds up. Pounds up, shovels be in the ground. Who's down? Let's eat. Big table, plenty food, have a seat. It's all on us. It's not about talk, it's about action. You know how you had it's about that action. It's got to be about that action. We can talk about it all day. You see people on the news and these politicians, they talk about it all day. It's time for that action. It's time for it. Springtime. Yeah. Get in the mud, y'all.
Grow Hard Garden Challenge starting March 19th. The link is in the chat. You can go to register on Eventbrite. This is non-transactional. There's a link on there if you want we actually have a PowerPoint presentation, and this is for somebody who might be doing program where they're at. It goes through the instructions, and it also gives some basic pointers. But we want as many kids as possible to start a garden this year.
And this is the Eventbrite page at the bottom in the banner, www.eventbrite.com, X Grow Hard Garden Challenge 2022 tickets. 268-274-776077. If you got to pause this to write it down so you can put it in your URL, do that. It's imperative. You got your little cousins, your kids, the kids in the neighborhood. Get everybody involved. Matter of fact, take this link to your schools and see if you can get your teachers to get involved with this Grow Hard Challenge. Because all the kids, these kids need to learn how to grow. It gives them something to do. There's a lot of knowledge they'll gain. And they'll learn one thing for sure, if you want something, you got to put in some work. And if you want something good, it may not, you may not get it immediately. Teach them patience. Teach them how to nurture. And it's nothing like when a kid really when you really accomplish something, when you do something for real, that feeling, that feeling of joy, that feeling of excitement, that feeling of accomplishment, that means a lot. That means more than money. That's more than money. We're trying to get beyond just surviving, y'all. We're trying to thrive. We're about this thrivalism. And as always, we're going to continue to push this B1 algorithm and fight the algorithm.
Pushing the black algorithm. Ancestors, they mastered the systems. We raising your bosses, no victims. Planting that knowledge curriculum. Blessing the boots with the nutrients. The darker the berry, black Nubian. Dropping receipts like I'm Julian. The streets with that food like Peruvian. Trapping the merch and the fruits and the veggies. CSA boxes, my package is heavy. Ship across town in the bed of my Chevy. Printing the mud, growing hard for that baby. If you stay ready, you ain't gotta scramble. Bet on black farmers and growers, no gamble. Reclaiming our pain cause the game is in shambles. Blessed with that melanin, carry the mantle. Mothers and fathers of civilization. Black to the garden with food cultivation. Building back better through black innovation. B1 community growing the nation. Genetically designed to be the dopest. Stoking that growth mindset. Codified, now we focus farming on back on track. Be the fam, break bread with them. Pushing that B1 algorithm. Now watch me get them, watch me get them. Pushing that B1 algorithm. Be the fam, break bread with them. Pushing that B1 algorithm. Watch me get them, watch me get them. Pushing that B1 algorithm.
Yes, sir. It was I watched the highlights from the NBA All-Star game, seeing some superior athletes on that floor. Steph Curry hitting 16, 17 threes. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 6'11", just dominating down low, blocking shots and dunking. You got LeBron James hitting the game winner in Cleveland, and it was exciting to watch. But when we're going to find the Steph Curry of, growing corn? When we're going to have the LeBron James of growing collard greens? We're going to have the Giannis of growing apples? You know what I'm saying? When we're going to have, the Allen Iverson of growing oranges? When we're going to rise up a nation of athletes? We can do way more than athletes. We be way more than athletes. I was an athlete. I played football, basketball, baseball, through the shot put and discus. That was good. But I'm a lot more prouder of being the grandson of a farmer, being out there in the fields with my grandfather, that knowledge he blessed me with as a youngin'. You know, them life lessons. You know, it's just me and him out there in them fields. And one of the first lessons I learned out there in them fields with my grandfather is when you growing your own food, ain't no salary cap on your dollars like an athlete. So them athletes, they got salary caps. But as an athlete, as a farmer, there ain't no salary cap on your dollars. They can't stop your harvest. They can't say, oh, you grew too much. Oh, you growing too much. Oh, you making too much money. No, sir. I grew this. I harvested. We eating this. We're selling this. We're creating we're creating other products out of this. We upgrade. We buy more land. We're digging more wells. We're putting up more solar panels. Let's keep our eyes toward the future, y'all. You got any last words for him, Farmer Brown?
Grow Hard Garden Challenge. We're trying to raise the next generation of athletes.
And we lose, and peace to y'all, man. I'm glad y'all didn't lose faith in us on doing this little break. We ain't broke away. We're here to stay, deeply planted. You know what I'm saying? Firmly planted, deeply rooted. We're in this. This is our mission. This is our mission. Firmly planted, deeply rooted. We want everybody eating well, eating better, not just surviving but thriving. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Like. Hit that like button, y'all. That's free. Hit that like button. Share it. That's free too. All it takes is just click a button. We click buttons all day. Click for this. Let's grow this conversation. Let's make sure that, you know, our family and our children and our loved ones, you know, we eat better, become more healthier versions of ourselves, and keep our immune systems as high as possible with the greatest food that we can eat, and that's that natural food right out the ground. So until next time, I'm John Hennry Harris. We have Farmer Brown MC. Let's be about that action, y'all. Let's be athletes. Peace.